Hello and welcome back to Actual Play Checkpoint Midnight. Lucas was just very suave and having a lady on each arm and balancing that delicate, both of their needs very delicately. And I think Alexi was going to tell us how his charm paid off.
What happens when you roll a 4?
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, that's a pretty
a
low roll
scene.
to be fair. Let me check in first.
I literally cannot roll lower. I have +2 in operator, so there's no way for me to roll lower.
There we go. Leora, real quick, we recruited the ghost to serve as a messenger. What sort of a message were you trying to send to your fellow operatives?
Well, since I can't see ghosts, I imagine, so every once in a while, I'm just sort of, when I think nobody I can see is overhearing, I'm sort of narrating something, hoping there's a ghost around to go and repeat it to my friends, right? So I can totally see that there will be the role at some point where I'm saying all this and there's nobody to listen.
Oh, beautiful.
But for right now, it's okay. We've been introduced at the beginning, I guess, when at the flashback when we had this Ferris wheel aficionado that was drafted in.
Sure. Yes.
So
call him Franz.
Franz. All right, Franz, if you're listening, go tell Lucas that I'm going on duty as the guard to take care of this briefcase here that seems to be the one we're looking for, or a convincing decoy, and to keep my lookalike out of sight if he can.
Great. Yeah. So Lucas, like as you're engaged in this, fast talking of your the sweetheart of your youth in ghostly form, you hear another ghost, coming up and saying, "Oh, sorry to bother you, but the lady who did the shifting thing, she's a guard now. She's trying to get a briefcase, I think." Also, I don't know if I'm supposed to be telling you this stuff too, but someone's starting up the Ferris wheel. Don't know if that's of interest. So like that's all going on, right? But in the meantime, Petra, who we were trying to fob off, like stamps her foot and like says, what was Lucas' last name?
Herrick.
I think this is a double name thing. Right? Says, Lucas Herrick, I will not be ignored. And like that last word is loud, and it's like a banshee shriek, right? Like all around the dance floor, glasses shatter, right? Like champagne glasses people are holding, shattering. People clearly something of that ghostly voice is echoing out to other people besides you. Some people are screaming, someone faints. The dance floor is in disarray, and Dawn, you spot the security now like making now like converging right on you, like as like other people like run away, they are coming in. Dawn, mark a stress from that. Lucas, I want you to take serious harm from the banshee shriek right in your face. So take serious harm is a roll where you roll plus stress.
All right. Well, I only have 1.
Okay, so this might be good because and you want to roll low on this one. So if your luck holds from the last roll, it'll be great.
Why do you gotta jinx me like that? What's that all about? All right. Well, I rolled a 6 and I have 1, so that's 7.
Okay, so when you take serious harm on a 7 through 9, you take your licks. Choose one from the take serious harm list.
And is that a basic move? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of over on the special moves side of the basic moves page.
Could take stress. Yeah, I mean, that's Lucas's kind of idiom, isn't it? He's gonna take 2 stress.
Nice. So you grit your teeth and push through Mark II stress. So what do we see Lucas do just to like, keep it together as Petra unleashes this kind of terrifying banshee scream, which I don't think you've seen ghosts do before, right? Like ghosts are usually just sort of bothering you in more normal ways. So I think this is an unusual occurrence even for in the life of a ghost speaker.
So he just sort of grits his teeth and just says, you're not here. And then he starts looking around at all the other people. He's like, most of them are not here either. They don't know. They didn't hear it. I heard it. They didn't. No one heard it. It's fine. It's fine. It's time. Dawn, let's get a drink.
Dawn, you see the security are now like pushing aside some of the party goers that are rapidly exiting the dance floor. Some of them like clutching their injured hands from the glasses exploding. What do you do? Oh, you are muted.
I say, lovely idea, Lucas. Follow me. And she does not make a beeline for the bar. She makes a beeline into the crowd. And as she's doing it, she's like grabbing somebody's hat and like dropping hers and putting it on and like grabbing a scarf off of somebody and wrapping it around Lucas. I'm going to try to exfiltrate with stealth.
Yeah.
The notion that like, what's going to happen is in my perfect world, they're going to walk up to 2 people who look just like us. They're going to put hands on them. They're going to turn around, and the people are going to not be us, and they're going to be confused. And we will be disguised in the garb of others, so that we can, we can slip past them and try and get to Jan.
Yeah.
But let's not get. So I would like to exfiltrate.
Exfiltrate with stealth. Go ahead and roll plus operator. This sounds great. This is like building impromptu disguises as you go.
Exactly. They keep growing, and we find one and toss. No, that's far too gaudy. Which to think of something far too gaudy for Dawn is yeah.
It's got like ostrich feathers going on or something.
All right. Well, Lucas is definitely showing us what it's like to suffer and to suffer trials and tribulations. Dawn is showing us what it's like to be charmed. That's a 10. She's got an 8 plus 2 with operation. So
swing by the cloakroom.
On a hit, you make it. On a 10 plus, you get in or get out clean and land in a position of strength. Very nice.
Yeah.
So I think it happens like you said, right? Like two bystanders are grabbed by security because they happen to be wearing the same red scarf that Dawn grabbed and the same fur hat that you slammed over Lucas's head, right?
Exactly.
And then you can pop up where you want here, including it sounds like including over by the Clausen heir himself, right?
Yeah, I think that I think maybe I know exactly why. Maybe Leora mentioned the Clausen heir, and then that could convey to Lucas, and then Lucas said that out loud. But what's far more likely is that Dawn just like, he's our friend. We should be by the Clausens, right? Like, because she's just lucky that way.
She's just lucky that way.
It's Sean's metagaming by way of showing her stupid, dumb good luck.
This is the blessing of Helga, right?
Yeah, this is the blessing of Helga. I think what happens is, in fact, one of the things that draws me and also terrifies me about Helga is her voice, her singing. And so I think I hear like the slightest lilting voice coming from that briefcase, and it just kind of like makes me turn. And that's when it's far away. It's not close enough I can hear it, but like I hear this strange voice, and I kind of turn, and there's Clausen, and I'm like, oh, let's go be with our patron, and
great. Yeah. So suddenly the two of you are with Jan. He says, friends, I'm afraid I have some private business to attend to. Are you enjoying the party? Go enjoy the party some more.
Oh yes. We are enjoying the party. The party is delightful. And like Dawn is definitely like, private business, you say? She doesn't say that, but it's like, she's like, yes, I have private business to attend to. She's like, that your humble servants, Lucas and myself, are at your disposal. And should there be any negotiations or challenges that you come upon, it would impugn our honor if we were not there to serve you as our patron. I want to use my leverage on him to be like, you got to bring us with you.
Ooh.
Like, we're gonna help you, but if you don't tell us what's going on, we're gonna dish because we both have leverage on him.
It's true. Yeah, that's right. You both
Keep
have
your friends close and your enemies closer, right?
Because of the whole affair with the forged painting.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, Lucas, are you along for the ride here? Like you're just glad to be off the dance floor? What do we see?
Yeah, I think Lucas is still a little bit trying to recover from the whole ordeal of getting shrieked at on the dance floor. So he's happy to follow Dawn's lead at this point.
Sorry,
Dawn-
Is Petra still there?
What's that? Oh, is Petra still there?
You've left her behind. I'm sure she'd try to find you, but Dawn did a pretty good job exfiltrating that dance floor. Dawn, when you put pressure on an NPC you hold leverage over, roll plus the leverage you hold on them. In this case, that's +1, right?
Cool. Yes. I assume it's not cumulative because both of us have leverage on him. It's just the individual leverage that Dawn holds, right?
Oh, that's a really interesting question. I've never had people like together try to put pressure on an NPC, but I don't see why not. Lucas, if you join your voice to Dawn's, we can have a roll with +2.
Jan, I'm sure you wouldn't want to get involved in anything that your parents wouldn't want to know about.
He like narrows his eyes at that because what he hears is you wouldn't want me to tell your parents about anything you're
Weird
involved
that
with.
you would draw that inference, because what I clearly said was you certainly wouldn't want to get involved in anything that you wouldn't want your parents to know about.
Okay, Don, make the roll and you get a +2 on it.
Excellent. Why do I keep missing the thing? All right, here we go. All right, well, that is a 9. That's 7 + 2 is 9.
Cool. Interesting. So on a 7 through 9, so they could comply, but on 7 through 9 they could instead choose weasel out by giving you leverage they hold on someone else, or cut a deal by giving up leverage over you. And I think that's what Jan's instinct is, right? Like Jan is ready to say help is not required in this instance, but why don't you enjoy the party, and we'll say we're square. My family is willing to forgive and forget any past indiscretions. So like trying to pull that one on Don. Here's the thing: on any result, you may choose to give up a leverage to push the result up to the next tier. So like pushing a 7 to 9 up to a 10+, for example.
Oh wow, that's a cool rule. All right, so they can either, if I do, they can either comply grudgingly or gladly, or they can give up something else that's even more costly to them.
10+ is a mite more powerful than the 7 to 9.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm totally happy to give up leverage for this.
Nice. Yeah.
So Dawn says, he's like tries to dismiss her, and she pulls herself up with like her cane in between. Like she wraps like her arm around his arm, and then like the cane like wraps around like almost serpentine to like embroil them, like almost as if they were gonna dance together or something like that. She's like, "Oh darling, don't think you'll dismiss me so easily. Trust me, you want me in your bed." And then she's like, "Oh, did I say that? Like, oh, I made a sexual innuendo. I clearly didn't mean that. But I'm gonna push. I'm gonna, and my leverage on him is that I know about the other families, and I'm like, the other families would never take my word over yours. And essentially, that's me sort of signaling that I'm giving up that, like, I can't besmirch your name to the other families. They would, but you're gonna do this. Or I'm gonna get that 10+ result. So
yeah, he's like looking back and forth, right, between the the lovely lady on his arm and the like slightly snaky cane that has suddenly appeared here. He says, well, if
there's a slight implication of threats there.
As long as you understand the importance of discretion, perhaps perhaps backup is not inadvisable, and he'll he'll accede and bring the both of you with him. He's headed over. He's headed actually right towards the Ferris wheel. So Leora, let me check with you. You had spotted a weak point, a way to try and grab that case. Are you going to go ahead and take it?
So yeah, the idea was I was going to act like I was relieving the other guard on duty and just stand. I think it was next to the briefcase, or is it holding the briefcase?
Yeah, I think I said the briefcase is on the ground. The other guard is standing right near it, but like looking impatient, ready to be relieved. And you're turning up and like giving him a nod or something, letting him know you're the new guard.
Okay, so yeah, and my ultimate plan right now, unless something better comes along, is to follow where the briefcase goes, and at some point, if it's like put in a safe, for example, or some other safeguarding area where there isn't anyone in there, to use my powers to basically travel through the other side to get to the item, steal it from the briefcase, and then leave the briefcase there.
Sophie, my impression from the way Alexi described it, Alexi, tell me if I'm wrong, is that this guard is probably the one that's going to be responsible for picking up the briefcase and carrying it somewhere. Like, he's guarding it, but I don't think you picking it up and holding onto it, as long as you were acting in the part of a security guard, would seem out of, like, there's a reason why he was standing over it, because he was the one that's supposed to be.
Yeah, I think
what I was expecting was that at some point, whoever ends up in possession, like having purchased or sold the item, would signal to me and bring the briefcase, or take the briefcase and signal to me to follow them. Either way, I would know where it ends up, and I'm not in front of everybody to open the briefcase.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hearing that. Here's what I think happens, right? As you relieve the other guard, he nods. You look just like one of the other guards. So he's he heads off to smoke his cigarettes, and as like almost as soon as you're the one there with the briefcase, you hear Malashka say, in like a high tinkling voice, "The case, please, with me." And just kind of like barely glancing at you, but like gesturing for you to follow her with the case. And she's headed over towards the Ferris wheel.
Here we go, towards the Ferris wheel. Pick up the case.
Yeah.
And how does this case look and feel?
Ooh,
you said something about it matching vaguely her outfit. Is that?
Yeah, like she's wearing like glittering white, and there's just there's the case is also nice and white with like little metal fixtures on it. The most notable thing is just that tiny kind of musical sound still coming from it.
Oh yes. Okay.
But yeah, if you're following her with the case, I think we have our operatives as a whole converging on the Ferris wheel.
Yes. If there is any chance to duck, I imagine I'm walking behind her. So if there is a moment to duck into a side corridor and then use my move to through the maze to walk out and emerge on the other side in the nether realm, or back home or something like that, I will take it.
Okay, yeah. So you're just like when you get a chance, just like
waiting for the moment,
stepping away. We'll
perhaps would it be another decipher to find the moment? Or act under scrutiny.
that might be it, right? If you're mostly trying to have a moment to be totally unnoticed, right? So that she just like ideally keeps walking without realizing that you have disappeared from behind her with the case.
Yeah.
Let's
exfiltrate. Yeah.
Let's do an act under scrutiny here. We haven't seen one of those yet. So when you're on the back foot,
we have. We just didn't do well.
No, we
Oh, we
skipped
changed it, didn't we?
Yeah.
But yes, sorry.
Say what you're trying to accomplish. Find yourself space to thread the maze and roll without a label. So go ahead. Let's see that roll, Leora.
Ooh, that is a total of 4. Yes. I mean, no.
I forgot. You get to mark XP on a miss in this system. Though
You let us do so at once. It's probably on the advancement tab. I'm gonna guess.
Correct. Yeah, I think so. I think we've seen both Leora and Lucas roll misses, so you have the chance to just tally that XP just in case. But here's what happens. You're looking around trying to find a way to step aside and examine this case, right, Leora, or possibly even to escape from this realm altogether.
I was going to go for escape, but I think she's not looking. I'm just going to take a right real quick.
Yeah. So on a miss, your cover is blown and things unravel. First market condition, then you're in the MC's hands. So I think there's like
the other guy I look alike.
You oh that's amazing.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Stolen the guy's shadow, and then you hear someone yelling imposter, right? You see the guy that looks just like you pointing. Malashka spins on her heel, looks between the two of you, snaps her fingers, and you feel like ice crawling up your leg. Let's see. Go ahead and mark compromised.
Compromised, okay.
Because you're definitely compromised. And tell me what you do. You have the case, but you don't have your cover. And Malashka's clearly wielding some kind of unearthly power here.
Exfiltrate.
I see.
So I am good. Well, I'm picturing a very busy place, right? Because there's this big gala event.
Yeah, there's lots of people milling around, though.
Although actually that's not true, because this is the point where I thought I could duck, so it's probably quieter.
Oh no! Yeah, you were like near like a hedge or something, right? Like getting to the edge of some of the park, so there aren't people all around. Yeah.
Oh, but it's an evening gala, right? So it's dark. Mm-hmm. And I do dark pretty well. In fact, maybe it is a through the maze.
Oh, you've been caught, but you're nonetheless just gonna try to go for the maze here.
Yes, I'm going to try to power through to the shadows I see, dropping just at the edge of the bright lights that illuminate the front entrance to this building and all the way to the Ferris wheel, I imagine.
Go ahead and roll to thread the maze. This looks like you just kind of like diving for shadow and then like falling through it, basically. Like
yes, interesting. It's a plus operator, not fable.
Sometimes you got to operate even in the netherworld.
Yeah, it's just because it seemed like a bit of a because I don't think I have any way to go for fable.
Well, your operator and fable are both +2.
Unfortunately,
no, because I just took damage. I just took a condition.
Oh, yeah, compromised. It was -2 to operator. Yeah. Is there a help mechanic in this game?
There is. When you provide aid or run interference, mark stress to give a PC advantage or disadvantage on a roll.
Well, I would argue that they've already given such a distraction.
Well, I was thinking we were all convening, right? We were.
Yeah, your guy was headed towards the Ferris wheel as well, so it's plausible you're seeing some of this go down.
Yeah, so I think my response would be to point at the original security guard. I mean, they're identical, right?
and you're yelling imposter about the other.
Exactly, and I yell imposter. What is
this? Doppelganger.
Yes. What is this imposter doing here? He's broken in, and this is my personal favorite. I go security, and I pointed at him.
Mark stress, but that'll give advantage to Leora. I will
And I
say,
can use it.
if Malashka hears, one guy say imposter, another person say imposter, she's just gonna snap her fingers again and freeze over the other guy. Because what's it to her if she has to freeze a couple extra people?
Sure.
But that means her eyes are off of Leora for a moment there.
That's all that I need is to get her eyes off of Leora.
Oh, am I? When you say freeze, I thought am I physically immobilized?
You got some ice crawling up your leg, so
okay.
it might be painful, but I'm going to let you roll thread the maze and see if you're able to
if I can make it anyway. Okay.
Exactly. You have an advantage thanks to Don's quick thinking.
Don, you're so wonderful.
Okay. You got it. That's an 11.
It makes a difference because it's the difference between an 8 and a 13.
Wow.
8 and 11, but still.
When
you
navigate the labyrinthine byways that link the city and the Netherrealm, tell us your goal and roll plus operator. On a hit, your goal is within sight. So what do we see as we like suddenly are like entering the byways of the Netherrealm, right? Like what's the like totally kind of different place that Leora is suddenly in as she tries to make this exit?
Well, first, would it make sense to imagine that in this case the guardian is the lady Melishka? Melishka herself, like in the other realm, it looks like ice and icicles and tendrils of ice pursuing me from this side. And that's a guardian I'm dealing with.
I'm not going to say no to that. I think you rolled well enough.
You don't have a guardian.
That you don't have to encounter a guardian, but we can say for flavor that as you're making your way in there, we see these like fast freezing tendrils of ice like following you. Just what are we imagining it kind of looking like? Yeah.
I think it looks like the shadows are as we get closer are darker than black, and this yawning chasm of black. And once I start crossing over, there are swirling stars like warped galaxies through. And the other side, I think it would make sense, since the mission is for Helga, that when I exit through this tunnel of starlight, that on the other side I just drop into Helga's living room.
Oh, amazing! What is I imagine she's a bit of a collector.
Oh yes, that means there must be all sorts of completely unexpected things here from all sorts of cultures, and some that don't look like anything anyone would recognize at all.
Can I add a little sinister twist to Helga?
Yes.
I think that she's a collector and she has people posed using these things. So there's somebody playing this ancient instrument, and there's somebody fencing. They're not trying to hurt each other. They're just sparring with these ancient blades and whatnot. But these are like her pets that are like performing all of these things with these ancient accoutrements that she keeps.
Oh, and because she's a collector, they're not just like any people who got indebted to her. They have to be the perfect person to wield that object, to be draped in that robe, etc.
Absolutely. Yeah. So she's like sitting on her her like gorgeous divan here, right? As you like suddenly appear, and she says, "Ah, cousin, what a pleasure! And you found the globe."
I have the briefcase in my hand, so I sort of gesture with the briefcase, and we hear the tinkle of the music.
And she says, "You stole the wrong item from the trade, my dear. This music is all well and good, but what are we supposed to do without the globe?"
That's not your globe.
do you think a globe can fit in a briefcase? It's
Yes, why
she,
not?
She's like gesturing, for like something like bigger, rounder. Right? But for the moment, let's cut back to the fairground. Lucas, Leora, the two of you are with Jan, who's like stopped in his tracks as he sees this go down, right? Like sees like Malashka just like freezing people, someone like leap into a shadow, and he says, I think the deal may be going south already somehow.
We should get you out of here. Jan. I think you might be in danger.
You say as like security is like forming up all around, and Jan makes a break for the Ferris wheel, just like running for one of the like the like open compartment, waiting at the bottom of this thing. What do you do?
Don looks to Lucas to sort of sort of guidance here. Do you think this is time to cut ties and run, or do you think that we should sort of double down on this and like follow Jan to whatever he's hiding? And that's all said in a glance, right? Like it's just words.
That's what the glance conveys. Absolutely.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I think. I mean, how invested is Lucas in retrieving this thing?
Yeah.
Because Leora's off somewhere. You're the one who's interested in getting this thing. I'm not super invested in it.
Is leverage something you can offer somebody, Lexi?
Oh, just offering someone leverage to try and
essentially be like, I'll owe you one sort of thing. Like, can I just say like Lucas gains leverage if he does this thing with me? Is that, I don't know if that's a mechanic or not, but it feels
that's allowed. Do you? I mean, if you have leverage on Lucas, you could just try using the leverage you have. But in some ways, the nice version is offering leverage, I suppose.
Yeah, I do have leverage on Lucas, so I guess I could offer the stick instead of the carrot. But I would rather offer the carrot of like, I'm like, you're right. This is for me. Don't you want to help your good friend? I'll owe you one.
You know what? This might just be you lower your guard and reveal a secret so that they gain leverage over you.
I think that's great. Let's pull that up.
Yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that. When you lower your guard in a moment of intimacy with someone, choose one, you reveal a secret, they gain leverage over you as the top choice from that list, and it sounds like what might be happening here.
Yeah. Okay.
So you give me this look, and I just say, "Why should I work so hard at this?"
And I think there's not a lot of time, but she grabs your hand and she squeezes it, and she says, you spend too much time talking to the dead. The living have needs too. Please help me with this. This is, all my gifts don't come from anywhere. I have bills to pay as well.
Mm.
And I mean, I'm hopefully conveying that, yes, like I have to do this for Helga. Like
or you're going to end up as one of these people just posing in her collection.
Exactly. Right.
I think the mechanical question that I have here is that I already have leverage on Dawn.
You can take leverage again.
So do I have double leverage somehow?
Yeah, it stacks, right? Because having more leverage just gives you more ability to use it if you so desire. So you can go ahead and say 2 leverage on Dawn, and Lucas, what do you do?
Yeah, and lower your guard does not compel you to take any action. It's just what Dawn does. She reveals a secret, and then you get leverage.
Mm-hmm. So I think Lucas says, "All right, fine. Let's do this thing. But you need to convince Leora to get me a real supply. And not keep feeding me this pixie dust she's been pushing off on me."
Yeah. All right.
I love it. Yeah.
So the two of you, are the two of you following Jan?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
then I think like we see like the Ferris wheel just start up, right? And like, by the time the people on the ground have, regrouped, figured out what's going on, you guys are like almost all the way up the Ferris wheel as it's starting to turn. And like Malashka down below is like shaking her fist. She puts her hand out and ice starts kind of creeping up the Ferris wheel. Jan in this carriage is saying, I think maybe I made a mistake trying to make a deal with this lady. And
What
like
is it that she wants from you, Jan?
he
Surely
pulls
you should
out.
just give it to her.
He pulls out from his jacket pocket this this orb with just icy winds seeming to be blowing all inside of it. He says, I've found this deep in a family vault. She said she had a lost musical spell that could restore my family to its glory if I gave this to her.
I think, Tom, what do you think in terms of ways to liberate this orb from Jan? Do you think we continue the ruse, or do you think that we like try to scare him or force it out of him? Because I can imagine a ruse in which we say like, it's not safe for you. We'll take it off your hands. We'll help you escape. But
I mean, it might genuinely not be safe for him is the thing, right?
yeah,
Like,
and we kind of know about his heritage too. Like, the story about it. So I feel like we could get spooky and like tell him about like his heritage and how dangerous that is, and like really trying to convince him it's a good time to give up. Or we could try to offer to be his aides as we have thus far.
Lucas, does one of your afflicted moves seem like it could fit here? Because I'm looking at what you've got, and you've got one for examining objects, and you've got one for showing people, giving people a glimpse beyond the veil into the ghost world. Either of them of interest?
I think like the inclination that I have is that we can make a play on him and say, you don't need the spell when I can talk to the composer.
Wow, nice.
Make him a counteroffer that you don't need her because we can go to the source. You can deal with us.
And I think like you legit know that. You know the story of his history, of his family's history and all that stuff. Like you found that stuff out. You're not bullshitting, you're
Oh, I meant more that kind of like make a play that like we can, because we have the spell, I'll bullshit that I know the composer, and then we can just have Leora hand over the spell under the guise that we've essentially handing him like an authentic forgery, right?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Again.
All right. I
would consider like showing him the terror of the underworld, but I'm not sure that bullying our patron at this point further than we have I don't know that's Lucas. I don't think is that callous. I think Don might have done that, but I don't think Lucas would.
Makes total sense.
Is it possible you're making a stand to sway someone to your cause? You should try to convince him he should throw in with you, abandon this deal.
Yeah, I think that's probably.
I think that's it. Yeah,
that's probably it. Yeah.
Lucas, make a roll plus dreamer there. If you're spinning this story, telling him, you're the guys who can give him the supernatural stuff he needs.
I'm +1 on this.
Yeah, there we go.
So that's a 10 total.
That's a good total.
Yeah. On a hit, you command their attention. On a 10+, if they don't follow your lead, they have to show more of themselves than they meant and lower their guard. But I think in this case, he is going to follow your lead, and so like he hands you, Lucas, this globe. It's cold to the touch.
Now I think I want to examine this thing and see if I can use it against Malashka.
Oh, fascinating. When you closely examine an interesting object, roll plus dreamer. So that's another +1 roll. Meanwhile, Don, I'm sure you're like glancing out of the carriage and noticing that ice is climbing up the Ferris wheel and starting to get onto the strut of your carriage and moving along. Creak, 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 creak.
Yeah, exactly. I assume the Ferris wheel has like stopped moving at this point.
Yeah, you guys are
So
stuck up at the like apex, basically.
yeah,
All
Hey,
right.
who has a hole in her pocket?
I was gonna say, I'll do it in a second. I think you see Dawn, and she's taking her cane that she's been carrying, and she's like unscrewing the top.
Ah, nice.
And you know she's about to pull she's about to pull something out, but we'll wait for Lucas's.
So I got a
Yeah.
10 total, so I get to ask 3 questions off my list here.
What
Ooh,
move
yeah.
is this? Is this your move?
This
This
is
is a-
nose for trouble.
Yeah, I have a
Ah,
nose for trouble.
there
This
we
is
go. I was
a
looking at the
playbook
basics.
move.
Yeah.
So my 3 questions. What bans, wards, or limits are attached to this object?
Yeah, it's you get the sense as you're like staring into the thing. I take it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, conveniently for you, there are spirits trapped inside, and you know they're clamoring for your attention. It's hard to like make things out in the cacophony, but like you know a like erudite voice from among them says, you know, a spirit speaker, perhaps able to use the globe, for only those touched by the other world can make use of the artifact.
I feel like that answers where does this object belong?
Yeah, it's not of this world. It belongs in the court of Winter herself.
Mm-hmm. Are there any relevant secrets or mysteries that this object has been privy to besides the fact that it does not belong to this world?
Sure. I think this object was part of the ancient ritual that the Clausen family had used to come to prominence. They one of them was like had like enough of a touch of the otherworldly to use this globe to destroy their like rival families' mercantile operations with like you know terrible freezing blizzards, and this is what allowed the Clausens to become you know this wealthy and influential dynasty in Vienna.
So I think I get a third question here, but I'm not sure what to apply. So I guess I will go with what strong emotions have most recently been near this object?
I think that's simple enough. Just the you know kind of drive and anxiety that Jan Clausen's been carrying around in his heart, you know, which was right next to this globe as he came here. Right, you know, it's clearly means a lot to him. The prospect of you know restoring his family, and he thought this trade would be what did it, but you've caused him to hand it over to you, and now he's looking anxiously around to know what you're going to do next. His kind of you know. His protectors who twisted his arm to come along, but at this point he's glad he let you do that.
I just turn to empty air and I say, Franz, you need to have Leora open the way.
Oh, nice.
Talking to your ghost, who's like he's just sitting casually on like one of the struts of the Ferris wheel, like dropping like you know breadcrumbs or pebbles off of it and watching them fall, like you know clearly thinking about this. And but like as you say, this is like oh and then like you know himself just starts kind of like twists and disappears in a way you've occasionally seen ghosts do when they need to move quickly through you know some non-mortal dimension. So Leora, you can't hear ghosts, but you just feel this cold breeze from right behind you as you're now in your cousin's apartment, and like you know you turn and you see you know like on like a like frosted mirror in this apartment someone like writing out you know Lucas says open the way, whatever that means.
I say to Helga, I'll be right back. And just to clarify among players, because I obviously there's the Dawn's hole in her pocket that could also do the job.
Yeah, that's what
Is
that's what I was thinking, but I am totally cool. My
Can we
thought
make this?
was,
Yeah,
what's that?
maybe your thought will be the same. So go for it.
My thought was, I hadn't predicted that. I think it's cool if you open a way there, but I was just going to open a hole because the Ferris wheel is above the water, right?
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, my thought was I was going to open a hole in it and just tell Jan, if you trust us, come with us, and then like leap out into the water to escape that way.
But I misunderstood. I thought the hole in your pocket could only get the globe out. I didn't think we could all escape that way.
Oh yeah, no, it creates a door.
Okay.
But maybe we can use both and have like you open a door, and as I understand it, it creates something that lets you step through, but it doesn't control the destination. But mine does.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I think my door normally goes.
Mine is just for me. So.
Yeah, I think mine normally just goes to the other side of the object, but in conjunction with your power, I could totally see them linking up. That would be a fun. That would be a fun way to combine those two.
Yeah, I think that lets us do something that neither can do all by themselves.
Yeah, and maybe it even is a thing where to link up you do have to fall, right? Like so you draw the door, you fall, and then Leora essentially catches you with a shadow that will bring you where you need to go.
Right.
I'm up to say that's aiding, right? So if you mark a stress, we can say you're providing that aid, and the only roll I need to see is a hole in your pocket for Dawn, because not the fall that kills you isn't a roll; it's just a fact. You're never injured by falls.
Yeah, I'm gonna be fine, but like, is Lucas and Jan gonna be okay? That sounds good. So you've been holding this orb. Dawn pulls the shaft, separates the shaft of the cane, and the whole time she's been using this cane, if anyone's held it, it feels like it's a little like topsy-turvy. It's a little like strangely weighted, like the end kind of like has like a heavier weight in the end. And as if there's a fluid moving around in it. And when she pulls it out, everyone expects a blade, but no, it is this long, elegant paintbrush.
Oh my goodness!
Silver paint in the well of it, and she dashes She draws a door where the door actually is, but it's iced over, and it's as though she's like cutting through it. And she says, and I think if it's okay, I want to sort of follow on Lucas's previous make a stand to sway someone to our cause. I feel like Jan is with our cause at this point, so it's not another role to convince him. Open the door and I say, we will protect you, Great Clausen. Your legacy will not end tonight. The Clausen legacy will not end tonight. And then let's see how this goes.
That's awesome. I love paintbrush sword cane.
Yes, I was like, I need to use this sometime because everyone's gonna assume it's a sword.
Make a roll with advantage because of the help from Leora.
Let's do it. Why can't I find out? There it is. There we go. That is a 9, and for me, oh wait, what is that? That's not a 9. That's an 8. But that's okay. 8 is great. I only have a 0 fable, so that's a 7 to 9 result. But all I need is it won't last long.
Yeah, so
that's all I need. It's
just for a moment. This door exists. The three of you tumble out of it, and like just as Lucas is starting to wonder, did he make the right choice here? Like a shadow envelops you, or Leora, what does it look like as you're able to like kind of catch them as they fall here?
Oh yeah, it's definitely shadow upon shadow, so that you think this as black as it gets, and then it gets even darker for a moment. You may feel like you've gone blind, and then you find yourself in front in Helga's weird drawing room in front of her fireplace, I guess, because I think we said it was fall. The first frost.
Yeah, it's getting colder. Winter is coming to Vienna, but you guys made it away before the
And I'm glad I
Ferris
helped
wheel is
because look at
encased
that
in ice. Fantastic. Let's do a little
There you
epilogue
go,
for each
Helga.
character. Just give me a sense of in like the hours, days, the time ahead, what we see of them, just to give us a little bit of closure or a little bit of cliffhanger for these three operatives. Let's go character keeper order. Lucas, what would we see as an epilogue for you?
So actually what happens here is that Lucas is drawn even more tightly into the group here, and he says, Leora, you never told me you had such a powerful and enchanting cousin. That's amazing, the powers that she must be able to command, the things that she can do with all of the eldritch teachings and the great sorceress abilities. I don't know why you have walked away from such a gracious and potentially helpful ally.
Oh, I can't let just anyone approach the great Helga.
I love our web of connections getting ever tighter. Obviously, Helga and Dr. Anna Papa are have like a standing tea every week or something, right? Like they're clearly running the same circle.
Yes.
I think Lucas is like, let's not screw around with these mortal people who like are dabbling in electroshock therapy. Let's go straight to the supernatural face source and see.
And I think Dawn is like overhearing the conversation, and just like her face is she's just crestfallen as she's like, "No, Lucas, don't do it."
Well, now you know how that feels.
It's
as this happens, I turn to Dawn and I go, "Don't you think Helga is just fascinating? She's maybe the first attractive woman I've seen since I met my wife."
I think and I'll use this in my epilogue scene as well, but I think she's looking at Lucas, but she's looking past Lucas at one of the performers, at one of the people that are going to spend an eternity, performing some task for Helga's amusement, and she says she is remarkable.
Leora, what do we see as an epilogue for you?
I use the time of maybe mild confusion and interest when everybody shows up, and we rapidly see the globe being passed to the mighty and powerful and also awesome Helga. And I'm just gonna discreetly walk away with the briefcase.
Nice.
Yeah. Hang on to that for your own purposes.
Nobody needs
Yes,
that.
and then you can have a shot of a montage of various attempts to open the briefcase. I don't know how hard it will be.
Oh yeah, she's trying to. It's like, what sort of a lock even is this? Yeah.
Yeah, is it enchanted? Who knows? So.
Yeah. I love the idea that that Dawn could totally just open it easily, but Laura is not, she can't give up. She can't. That would be the easy way, right?
Oh,
Dawn,
that would be a good topper. Like, I try, fail, and then Dawn just walks in, and it's like the pickle jar, right? Oh, let me do this.
Or like there's like a combination, and she like spins it randomly. It's like, look at that, lucky me.
First try. Yeah. I was thinking hole in my pocket, but I like that even more.
That's true.
Cool. Yeah. It's all from the same power source. Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you all for playing Checkpoint Midnight.
I'd like to throw in a tiny epilogue.
Oh, please. Yes. Yeah. Last glimpse for Dawn. Yeah.
Last glimpse for Dawn is in some like artist studio in Vienna, and there's like all of these other art students, and they are painting a person who is posing, a nude who is posing, and she's in the class along with them, and she's painting. She's doing this remarkable job, but the teacher is applauding this other student who is like just done something otherworldly. It's amazing. It seems to come to life. And Dawn looks at that person and is like, and we sort of like glimpse at like the gold livery that she had on that Helga had on her pets, as it were. And like we see that like gold livery superimposed over this person. Like, I know that they're doomed because they're so good that they're going to become like, and she just shudders with fear, and it like ruins the painting. Like she had the brush on it, and like the shudder like smudges it. It looks terrible.
So the developing theme is nobody gets what they want, huh?
Something like that.
It's a rough business.
Yeah.
And nobody wants what they get.
Running the shadows of Cold War Vienna, and that's before you end up on the radar of the great powers.
Right.
Yeah,
we're still freelancers at this point.
Yes,
Thank you.
Melashka must be looking after us, because now we took some serious object from her.
Yeah, she's out there, isn't she?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really fortunate that I look like somebody else when I took it.
Yeah.
Thank you all for playing. I really enjoyed getting to run Checkpoint Midnight for you.
Yeah, this was really fun.
Right,
Thank you.
that was fun.
Are there any end of session things we did the end of session thing? It was the epilogue. Right?
Yeah, I would have had us do the there is an end of session move that does things like taking leverage or shifting stress around, but I felt like for a one shot made more sense to do a free form epilogue here.
Sounds great. Awesome. Well, then let's say our adieus. I'm Sean. I use he, him pronouns. I had a lot of fun playing Dawn tonight. That was great. You can find me for the next several nights here. We'll be streaming games from now until Sunday on Actual Play. Lots of stuff happening here. The game that I co-authored, Agon, is complete, printed in the warehouse and being shipped to backers right now. Many people have it. I still don't have my copy, but I know it's in Des Moines right now. I'm just waiting for the package to arrive. So I'm super excited about that coming out. It's available for pre-order if you didn't back it on the Evil Hat site. So yeah, good stuff. How about you, Tom?
Hey, I'm Tom Lommel. I use he, him pronouns. You can find my RPG stuff on Twitter at 6 Hit Points, SIXHITPOINTS. Other than that, I am a guest of honor at the virtual Gamehole Con later here in November, and I'll be running a charity stream for that, where we'll probably be playing D&D. And that's kind of the extent of it for me. I'm also looking forward to getting my copy of Agon. So
I'm sure all of the West Coast copies are sitting in the same warehouse somewhere.
Where is it? Where is it? Exactly. Sophie.
I'm Sophie. I still use she, her pronouns. And I don't have any exciting things of my own, but I have been working a lot on a great number of modules for the Roll20 tabletop, virtual tabletop for Evil Hat Production. And so we've put out a ton of them since late April. And I'm just very proud of them, and I hope people enjoy them.
I want to just give a special shout out on that note, because Sophie has been doing a ton of the heavy lifting in terms of converting stuff. And we were just talking about it off camera during a break, but we've gone in 3 months from having 4 things on Roll20 for Evil Hat to having over 40, to having 45 at this point, with several more in the pipeline. And a lot of that is just Sophie willing to put in long nights working hard to make those things happen, and working with Fred and Sean to get the art assets and the sheets up to spec. So if you haven't checked out the things that Evil Hat has posted to the marketplace, I think you're really going to be pleased and surprised by all the hard work that everyone on the team there has done.
Wonderful.
It's some good stuff. I agree.
So I should plug things here too. I'm Alexi Sargent, and you can follow my gaming endeavors at Cloven Pine Games on Twitter and on itch.io. And if you're interested in Checkpoint Midnight specifically, there's a place to sign up for updates at bit.ly/checkpoint midnight list, capital C, capital M, capital L. But I'll also be posting things to Twitter as I continue to develop the game and playtest it with fine folks like these. I'm running another game of mine at Games on Demand Online, which is an upcoming convention. So if you're interested in being a desperado robbing the train to hell, definitely check out Games on Demand Online, where I'm running the Great Soul Train robbery.
Nice.
What could go wrong?
That's really the motto of characters in most of my games.
Yeah. All right, friends. Thanks for hanging out with us. It was a great time playing this game, and we'll see you tomorrow.